G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard. And I'm not going to be in it today. It's such a beautiful day. Blue is back on the road, so why not get him on the road? And I'm going to go and visit the motorcycle rescuer and pop round see Charlie. So Blue's had a little bit of a clean up because he was pretty fucking hideous. Oh, I've never bent that far back before. Bit worrying. I've got a water bottle because it's hot. I've got a battery pack because and I've also got in there a set of mirrors with the indicators in them because the ones with a bit of a blemish in them, so I don't think I'm going to use them, but see if Charlie wants them. That's no slight on Charlie's projects at all, but does some awesome stuff, and he also does some brilliant stuff on a tight budget, and if that saves a few quid, which means he can sell it a bit cheaper, then why the hell not? Right, come on. I'm just going to spin you out the way a second. Right then, usual little bit of tech faff, always good to have. Scorchio, and it's a beautiful day. Oh, bit of an accidental horn, happens to us all. And let's go on a beautiful day. Now I do have my little my camera going on me on my dash as well, so going for a full vlog experience, which is a bit of a shame because I don't really have a lot to say, which is unusual for me. Them plenty of room because they weren't looking, because people don't really look when they come off their own driveways. I've got me sat-nav giving me directions in the corner. I've done this journey plenty of times, but I always seem to go a different route. I think this is going to be the first time, it is actually, this is the first proper run that I've had on Blue, aside from when I picked him up. And when I picked him up, if you remember correctly, the handlebars were all skew-if, so this is the first like comfort ride that I've had. And it might help bed those fork seals in a little bit. Stunning. And I was right, I am too hot. I do have my body armour underneath, which is making me a little bit warmer, to be fair, but I have got water. Let me just adjust that angle a little bit, that's a bit better. Yeah, I've got water with me, keep myself hydrated. Yeah. I did have forgive me, I can't remember who it was, might have been Andrew. I did get a comment on the last upload actually saying, you know, all credit to you, Nat, the hottest day of the year so far, and you're working on your bike to get it back on the road. Sorry to burst people's bubbles, but I don't always release on the day that I film. I do, there was a period, when was that? When we had the 4-day bank holiday weekend for the Queen's Jubilee. I built up quite a stock then. and release them over sort of like a week and a bit. I have caught up again, so I'm generally like a day ahead. I don't try and keep my videos, come on Matt, get with the bloody lingo. I don't try and keep my uploads to a certain length or anything. I just do what I'm doing. I try not to do over 25 minutes ish, because do you think that's a bit long to hold somebody's attention? And you know, being all old school and 90s, 80s I suppose really, you know, an episode of something was generally around 25 minutes, and I think, you know, the professionals know these things. You get, you know, long running serials are like an hour each type thing, but you know, that's really in depth. So about 25 minutes is about, you know, I try not to go any more than that. I certainly don't aim for that, because I wouldn't want to come across as padding. Oh Christ, I'll come back to that. And then so yeah, I try and aim for about the sort of 20-25 minutes max. 20 is like my ultimate aim. But so then if I'm doing something really in depth and I want to show you that, I will split it. Alternatively, it's just, you know, you get a day's worth of stuff in about 25 minutes, which I think's, you know, not too bad. It's not, that's the sort of thing I enjoy watching. There isn't always a product at the end. I know, right, I'm going to do this today and rattle my way through it. So fork seals, for example, was 2 days. Well, that's because it took me 2 days, and the reason it took me 2 days is I was doing it in the evenings. You know, it's summer, so I've got daylight in the evenings, and I could just crack on, and it's dry, so it was relatively easy to just rattle through it. It's fine. Yeah, so I didn't film anything yesterday at all. So today is Sunday, which is why I'm going to visit Charlie, because I've got a bit of time, because I'm at work on Monday and throughout the week. But asked the missus if I could go out to play. I'm not taking a piss, that is what I said. She told me off for asking her for permission to go out to play, but it wasn't really. It's just making sure there were, you know, any family plans. No, I think one of the kids has got a mate coming round, so you know, we're fairly fixed to the house. It's frankly just too hot to take the dog out for a walk, for our normal sort of lunchtime-ish bimble. Sorry. Although she is a rescue and she is from Cyprus, which was where we got her from, sort of shipped across. It's not good to take a dog out in weather like this when it's not used to it. Yeah, they burn their paws and all sorts, so we're not taking the dog out for a long walk. I'll take her out for a walk in the evening when it cools off. So yeah, I've got a bit of playtime, which is nice. So, you know, as much as I was given credit for working on a bike in the hottest day in the summer, I was sat in a friend's garden eating my body weight in barbecue stuff, regrettably not drinking it as well, but it was one of my wife's workmates, so I drove and she drank. We weren't going ballistic, we had the kids along with us as well, so yeah, it was a beautiful sunny day and a nice day spent with good food and good friends, which was fab. So yeah, I didn't burn my hot sunny day working on a bike to get it on the road, but now he's back on the road, I did want to take him out on it, and you know, getting out and having a bit of a blast is always nice. And I might see if I can find a bit more of a scenic route on the way back, because I am travelling, you know, basically from the London burbs into London, into Islington. So Watford area to Islington area. It's not the most picturesque or fun trip in the world, but it beats the tits out of my normal commute, let's put it that way, because I can do that. And frankly, this is a lot more like what this bike is designed for. Now I haul its big fat ass around on a short commute each day, and frankly the only bikes that are really designed to do that are probably scooters. I've voiced before that I'm kind of anti-scooter. I'm not anti-scooter, I've never owned one, I've ridden a couple, but I've never really owned one. I've never emotionally invested in a scooter. They're incredibly practical. It's something that the British culture misses out on. We don't do scooters in our teenage years, or very few of us do. I myself started on an MZ125 when I was 17. I think I'd love to have one again. That was a great bike, and I dropped it every opportunity I got. My brother had a little scooter actually, and he did exactly the same. But yeah, so I've never really done scooters, but they're probably for the commute that I have now, i.e. my 6-mile commute. It's probably the best thing that I could have for it. Now, when it comes to my slightly longer and more London-bound commute, I'm probably better on a maxi scooter. But again, I'm just not invested in them. Where are you going? Yeah, big maxi scooter would probably be best for it, but it's just not so much fun. And it's kind of like, I was trying to explain this to a guy at work actually, and who's not into bikes at all. It's just a random conversation, and I was saying about automatic bikes. Well, we were talking about electric cars, electric bikes, and manual bikes, i.e. geared bikes, and automatic bikes, i.e. scooters. And he couldn't quite get his head round why you would elect to make your life more difficult on a motorbike, where you do have to concentrate. I mean, once you've been riding for a while, and I don't really credit myself with being one of those people that has been riding for a while, but you know, it's similar to driving a car. You concentrate less on the mechanics of doing it and concentrate more on what's going around you. So you know, you're not constantly thinking, oh, I need to change gear, or I need to do this and that. Exactly the same as you do in a car. But and he was saying, well, you know, for a commute, why don't you use a scooter? You know, is it just because you're too vain? I suppose he's got a point within that. But he couldn't quite get why you would make life difficult by having gears. And then I, you know, suddenly pointed out, what do you drive? Why don't you drive an automatic? Oh, automatics are shit. They're not responsive enough. Well, there you go. You have answered your own question. Although I do tend to find that, looking on his mobile phone, dickhead, I do tend to find that automatic bikes, i.e. scooters, are just fucking hilarious. They're great fun. They're just twist and goes. Not quite as much a go as that's got, but you know, this is a litre bike when it comes down to it. Yeah, it's a detuned litre bike. It's a detuned blade, but yeah, you can do shit like that, which is fun. Episodes, and this isn't why I'm filming, but I just reminded myself then. I've mentioned it a few times. This is a bit of a dodgy one, because I do know some of my viewers also watch, some of my subscribers also watch Del Boy's Garage, and I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy it because it's almost comedy, frankly. And some of his old stuff is useful. So his Forks Hill videos from I think about 8 years ago now are still really good, still entirely viable. And actually his earlier stuff, when he is really doing, you know, kit without kit, where he's doing jobs where you don't have the right tool for it, where you know, kind of a make do, is really good, because that's what helps people out. Someone's sat at fucking, why are we fucking carnage? You know, that's what it's for. That's what a lot of these channels are for, is right, how do I do, it's people looking up, how do I do you know, my Forks Hills are fucked, how do I do them? Flip through a few channels, work out the good ways, work out the bad ways. Ideally, and this is where YouTube has really fucked things up of late by getting rid of the dislikes, because it makes it harder for you to stream what's good and what's bad, because you don't see people, you know, you don't see people looking at videos going, oh, that's a shit way, you don't want to be doing it that way. Fucking hell. Arsehole cutting me off. Yeah, so Del Boy's earlier stuff was good that way, and it was even better when you could see thumbs up and thumbs down. So you look at a video, see someone doing something, doesn't matter what, and if you see, you know, 1,000 thumbs up and 50 thumbs down, then you look at it and go, well, I'm going to go with the majority there. People seem to like that, because a person's opinion is their opinion. It's entirely valid. They're welcome to it. It doesn't really mean a lot. But the majority of people like that. Right, okay, I will try it that way. That's really hard to do now that YouTube won't show thumbs down on videos. Don't get me wrong, the creator can find it by looking it through Studio, but even that's a bit of a torturous process. I'm not entirely sure how to do it, but they can do it that way. You can also download different viewers, different browsers. I use one called Kiwi that does show likes and dislikes on everybody's videos, and I specifically downloaded that because I quite routinely look up ways of doing things, because I'm still quite new to bikes. I do something new each time. When I'm looking up how to do, I'll stick with fork seals as a good example. When I'm looking up on techniques on how to do fork seals, I want to be able to check whether or not the broader community has seen the video before me and thought it's bollocks, or actually thought it's quite good, and it's really, really useful. Speaking of bollocks, I'm releasing it. I think it's about the 10th of July anyway, but you know, it's early July. Del Boy is doing a Harley Sportster. He seems to have got it into his head that he wants to cap racer it or scramble it. Fine. I'm not going to start ragging into what people want to do with bikes. It's their bikes. Particularly if they want to keep it, or particularly if they may well keep it, then do what you want with it. If they're going to sell it, then you look at some of the choices people make and go, you know, you're cutting down your potential buyers there, big fella. But it's their choice. You know, whatever they want to do with a bike is their choice, particularly because it's their money. Whether that be YouTube generated views, or whether that be through, you know, day job, whatever, one way or another, it's kind of, it's their choice. Now that's he's looking at, still can't get over this. His rationale was, I want to see how clips will look on the bike. Okay, clipped handlebars, so you know, down low. Absolutely fine, don't have a drama. I normally go that way, why does it take me this way? Oh. Okay, so you know, you want to give that a go, fine. All I've got is these that don't fit. Right, okay, fine. So I will then machine some sleeves, so to make these clips fit on my fit on the forks for what I've got. And I'll use these. I use these clipped handlebars that I've had for years, in an immaculate cardboard box, bearing in mind that he's moved at least twice in those years, I think. Starting to smell some bullshit. Whereas I think what he's done is just ordered the cheapest clips that he could find so he can mock it up, which again is fine. Not what I would do, because it may not be a lot of money, but it's still money potentially wasted if you're never going to use those clips. But anyway, it's got these fucking great clip-ons with 50mm, or designed to clip onto 50mm forks. I'm struggling to think of bikes that have got that 50mm fork, but I suppose upside downs might be that broad. I don't know. But anyway, he then spends a 9-minute video machining up some inner sleeves for that to go on. Okay, he's got a lathe, and again, it's his channel, his content, his choice. But it's then how he then clips them onto the forks, stands behind them, holds them like a bell end. You can hear in his brain he's making the noise of a bike anyway. And then he goes on to explain, so now this is just a mock-up. I'm never going to ride them with these, it's not safe, the bars are too thin, the actual bars are too thin for the furniture, for all of the switch gear, etc. But I just want to see how it looks. And I was there going, you've no idea how it looks. Those forks aren't attached to anything, they're just leant up against a bike lift. You've learned nothing from the experience, and that's kind of what bugs me. It's the, and I don't want to turn this into a rant and digging into his channel, but it's not, it's not is a dig at Del. It's not intended to be a dig at Del, because his channel was really, really good, and that's why it's got quite so many subscribers. You know, it is kind of the biggest of its ilk, I suppose. But it's lost its way. It really has. I mean, I watch it now for two reasons. One, for shits and giggles, because it is quite funny. Yeah, one for shits and giggles because it is quite funny, but for two, Dirty Garage Guy Workshop, Matt Hudson, his videos ripping the shred out of them, which is, you know, it digs a lot harder and a lot deeper than I would or could. I don't have the knowledge base to back up what he's saying by any stretch of the fact, by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, I kind of watch Del's first to see if I spot what Matt does. But yeah, it's if you're not watching Del Boy's Garage, watch it, and I would never turn people away from watching it. Watch it because it is interesting, just for the wrong reasons mostly, I think. And it's the same with everything you watch on YouTube. Just take it with a pinch of salt. I like channels where they do things a shortcut fashion, or they do things in a slightly dodgy way, or they do things without the right tools to do it, but they highlight that fact. Say, right, what I should do by the book is this, but I want to try it this way, see if that works. And then if it doesn't work, fezzing up and saying, oh fuck that's a channel. That's what you should be showing. That's what people need to see. They need to see a, right, okay, I need to do this. John down the pub says, no, don't be stupid, what you need to do is this. Is he right? And if you can look up on the internet, look up on YouTube, find people that have tried it, find people where it's worked, find people where it hasn't worked. Ideally, if you've still got thumbs up and thumbs down, look at those videos and say, well, okay, he reckons it works, but there's twice as many people who've given that a thumbs down and a thumbs up, so I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt. That's what it's for, and that's what pushes me away on my channel from how-to guides, because I'm not an exemplar of best practice at the best of times. What I think I can show is a way of doing it. Oh, we're going to share a lane, are we? It's interesting. Yeah, I can show a way of doing things. I don't think I can really show the way of doing things. I'm slightly intrigued as to why that Mini's hanging back so far. We'll see. I can see flashing lights behind me, but there is no way of me letting that ambulance through. Platts to Motorcycle Rescuer. Rub jab. I'm ruining your filming. Right, so just leaving Charlie's on the way home. It's fucking lovely to drop in. What a sound bloke. And I know that's, you know, particularly on the YouTube stuff, it's all about, you know, it's not about who you are, what you are, whatever. It's a lot of it's how you come across, and Charlie comes across as a nice, genuine bloke, and that's exactly what he is. That bloody buzz seems to have come back. I'll have to sort that out when I get back. It is fucking Scorchio. I wish I had a thermometer on this bike. Well, I don't. It's probably the one day a year where I do want one. Go for a bit of a snurgle back. I love summer dresses. Don't suit me though. Oh, I've got a nice little clip coming out of there from a couple of days back. I'll chuck it up here. I like it. That's something you don't see every day. The goose family. And there we go, back into the normal side. So as far as the fort's concerned, I'd love to say they're sorted. They're nice and balanced. I'm not getting any shaking, but I am getting some leaking. And I think the lesson here is don't buy the fucking cheap ones, Matt. And you keep saying this and you keep doing it, you twat. But I paid 20 quid for fork seals, dust seals and oil, and I realised I may have wasted 20 quid because they are leaking. I hope that little trip would have gotten to settle, and frankly if they were going to settle they would have done by now. Let's see what I can show you. So that's not just normal moisture, that is leaking. That's coming up from the seals. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh well, gonna have to do that again. That's fair pissing. Right, so that's one eBay seller that's going to get ragged because that is both of them. It's not one. It's not that I've cocked it up. It's the fact that they're shit. Arse.